He's got no power to deceive me. I believe it when I see it for myself. 'Cause I don't need no one to tell me about heaven. I'm looking my doors, Lord, and I believe. I don't need no proof when it comes to God.
Fear arises because of anger, for example, or resentment is there because there's anger. And Buddhism actually recognizes that there's a rich literature on that called Abhidharma, and in that particular literature, they discuss primary emotions and secondary emotions. Primary emotions like anger, jealousy, pride, and so on. And the secondary emotions consist of like resentment, deviousness. Deviousness is one of them. Lack of trust. So, in other words, if we're very untrusting, paranoid, and very mean, resentful, and ungenerous, that's also mentioned, then the primary emotions of anger, jealousy, and so on will be inflamed. So the idea is that according to Abhidharma teachings, we need to work with the secondary. These are called secondary emotions, by the way. Like resentment, lack of trust, and so on. If we try to become a little bit more trustful, if we are not sort of so untrusting, so paranoid, if we become a little bit more generous, more giving, these kind of things will help us overcome the strong emotions that we feel. So the strong negative emotions are not something that we expected to overcome overnight. What we need to do is to undermine the substructure that is in place that supports the strong negative emotions that are flourishing. So that's the thing, and despair and resentment and so on, sort of offshoots of all of that. But what Kierkegaard, I think, when he was talking about despair, he was not talking about despair in a psychological sense. It's a more of an existential kind of despair that you feel, but. Living with despair. And Buddhism, of course, talks about existential form of despair, but Buddhism, of course, speaks about nirvana and so on, so it's a bit different. But still, even in Buddhism, when we speak about despair and things like that, we're still, sometimes we're talking about psychological form of despair, but mostly we're really talking about existential form of despair. Just being a human being means, we have many problems that we have to worry about.